Hey, what's up, guys? It's Chris here with Fandroid. It gets a little lonely, I guess, since seeing how as I'm the night guy, it's a little lonely here at my shift. So I figured I would just try to keep up on some videos and just do some maybe nightly vlog type things. I'm just talking about some of the bigger news that happened throughout the day. The one that's pretty much been on my mind, I guess the biggest news from today, is the fact that the Google Motorola merger has finally been approved. I guess the final obstacle that was standing in their way has finally cleared today. The only thing that was, I guess they were waiting on, was China to give them the thumbs up, and China went ahead and cleared that for takeoff. So now things will get interesting. And I guess that's just what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, or tonight rather. There's just been a lot of, I guess, talk and chatter around the interwebs on exactly what this means now. The Motorola CEO is out, and they're replacing him with this new Google guy, and the same goes for a lot of the Motorola executives. Apparently, some of their top-level guys are all being laid off, or they're just moving along, and being replaced by some new Google people. Which is making a lot of people think. I mean, of course, there is talk that, or people are automatically going to assume, or hope rather, that now that Google is taking the reins of Motorola and it's finally been approved and everything's gone through, that Google is just going to release nothing but stock Android devices, all running Ice Cream Sandwich with unlocked bootloaders and just like... It's just like the second coming of Android, I guess, but really it's probably most definitely not going to work out that way. Feel free to hold me to it if I'm wrong, but I really don't think I will be. But pretty much nothing is going to change. Google has said before in the past that they will continue operating Motorola as a separate entity, and it's just pretty much business as usual, besides the fact that they have a Google guy kind of taking over. I still think that we'll see probably some changes as far as like the types of devices that are being coming out. Google said today that they're going to focus on fewer and bigger bets. So Motorola, I guess you guys probably won't know if you're just in the U.S. and stuff, but they're in all those other countries that are outside of the U.S. I know it sounds weird that there are other countries out there, but all those countries, there's a ton of Motorola devices. There's stuff that we've never even seen here in the U.S. So apparently they're just going to focus on fewer devices. You won't have a Motorola Razr, then Motorola Droid Bionicle Razr HD, and then Drionicle 4G. It'll just be fewer devices, which is cool. Of course, this is all just lip service until we see something, you know, some hard evidence. We heard the same thing from HTC, and they still kind of started bringing out all these weird variants and stuff because, and I guess this is my main point on why we pretty much won't see any real big changes, is you guys have to remember the carriers in the US hold all the power. So I don't care if you're Google or Motorola or whoever the heck you are, make no mistake, the carriers have the power. So they don't want 100 Android devices on their network all running stock Android, so that's just never going to happen. And if Motorola hopes to, I guess, differentiate themselves, which they do, which every Android manufacturer wants to do, that's why they put all these skins and HTC Senses and the TouchWizs and stuff. They want to be different from everyone else. I mean, it just makes sense. Like, if you had your own company, I highly doubt you're just going to release stock Android phones because it's just not really anything different. But I don't know. Then again, I guess there's so many skinned Android UIs out there that maybe if a company did just focus on stock Android, it would kind of differentiate themselves, but it really wouldn't, because anyone could release a stock Android phone, but not everyone can just release an HTC Sense device or a Moto Blur device. So don't expect to see a bunch of stocked Android. I guess the only thing I'm hoping to get out of this whole ordeal is that I'm hoping that hopefully, or the only request I even have is that this will now bring about unlocked bootloaders. I mean, that sounds a little more practical than I guess just expecting Motorola to just release stock Android devices and all this stuff. But unlocked bootloaders, I think that is something Google might want to do with their phones. But even then, that's still a little bit far-fetched and a little bit out there. It doesn't really seem too likely, just given the fact that a lot of the times bootloaders isn't really up to the manufacturer at all. It's not up to Google, it's not up to anybody but the carriers, like I mentioned before. The carriers have all the power. AT&T recently locked down the HTC One X, and they swallowed the key. They tossed it away. They shat it, did whatever. But that device has been locked down tight, as per the request of AT&T. So again, another thing that doesn't really seem likely, but I don't know. That's pretty much my only request I hope to see out of this whole Google Motorola thing. I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are. I've already seen a couple of some comments on the original post that we posted earlier today about the announcement, but for all the people on YouTube and stuff, I'm not even sure if I'll put this in an actual post, but I just want to hear your guys' thoughts, and I want to hear what you guys think about the whole merger now that it's finally complete. It's been almost a full calendar year, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yep, it was August of last year that it was officially announced, and August is barely like a month away, so it's almost been a full year. But I just want to hear what your guys' expectations are, or what some cool things you would like to see. I don't think we'll see Nexus devices, nothing but Nexus devices coming out of Motorola, although, I mean, yeah, I agree, that would be awesome. It's just, it's not likely. Where it is, though, that the rumor mill is churning, talking about the fact that there will be multiple Nexus devices across different manufacturers and stuff, which I think would make perfect sense. But I guess that's just a whole nother topic for another time. Hopefully we'll see more at Google I.O. I will be at Google I.O. with my trusty little camera, taking video and everything, all that stuff. But, okay, this video's gone long enough. Just let me hear your thoughts. Leave your comments and stuff down below. And thanks for watching, guys, and for keeping me busy on this very late Tuesday night. This is Chris Chavez signing off.